Hello everyone. This lecture is a continuation of the previous lecture, so I would strongly suggest to watch that and do not jump straight to this lecture. We saw in the previous lecture how we can use color.adobe.com. Now remember there are many different harmonies available. So I showed you analogous, but we also have monochromatic, which means there are different shades of the same color. This looks really nice. Then we also have triad, which is like this, which are three colors. We have complementary, which are opposites. Then we have split complementary, double split, square, compound, shades, and you can also create your own custom. For example, in compound, we can move it around, right? And it basically tells you how different compounds can be created. Wonderful, isn't it? Remember, you can also move the sliders at the bottom if you want more fine control. And you can even type a specific number if you know what that number is. Let's take one more example. This is a McKinsey slide that I have taken. It is an exhibit talking about how machine learning can be combined with other types of analytics to solve a large swath of business problems. In this example, we will look at how we can recreate this exact same visual as close as possible in as few clicks and as little time as possible. Insert, shapes. The first thing I want to do is to first make this a little larger. Once again, insert, shapes. I will select a rectangle, and please do this example with me. Select a rectangle and simply trace this large light blue rectangle that we have. Now we can just use Control Shift and then move it to the right and make another copy. We have these three. What more do we have? Let me just delete the first one for now. Now you must be thinking, but Havish, if we delete it, then do we not have to recreate it? So there is a very smart thing that you can do. If you want to hide an object and not really delete it, some people do a right click and then send it to the back. It is okay in some cases, but when you have a very large number of elements, this might not make a lot of sense because you will lose control over the layers that you have. Let me press Ctrl Z. So the correct way of hiding a specific shape that you have is to go to Home, go to Arrange, and then select the selection pane. In this, you can see that there are four objects that we have on our slide. Picture 3 is the original image, the McKinsey image. Then we have three rectangles as well. If you want to, you can also double click and give it a name. For example, this is my first rectangle. To hide it, simply hide it like this. And this means that the shape is still there in the same layer position, but it is not visible. Whenever you need it back, you can simply unhide it. So let me hide it and let's go back and create a few more rectangles. So I'm just going to zoom in, which will make it easier for us. Let me make a copy. I'm sorry, let me first make the first rectangle. Now we can zoom out, drag it below, and press Control Y, Control Y, Control Y, Control Y, Control Y, Control Y a couple of times. Do we need the same number of rectangles in the second vertical column as well? Let's check. We will go back to Arrange and Selection pane. Let me select the second vertical rectangle and hide it, and the third one also and hide it. So you notice that we do need the same number of small rectangles plus another one. Let's do that. So first, I will select all my rectangles, just drag it to the right and make one more copy. Excellent. Once we have done that, we need the sample image, remember? So now I can take the sample image and just make it a little smaller and move it towards the right. Now we need the same colors. We already know how to do this. So I will select the first two rectangles, go to shape format, shape fill, eyedropper, and then select this light blue color. We will drag and select all these small rectangles, shape fill. Here we can simply select a white, and the shape outline will be no outline. Select these once again, shape fill white and shape outline, no outline. And then this large vertical rectangle will be eyedropper and this shade of blue. Then we also need to make sure that all these spacing is correct. So select all the rectangles. Just to be on the safer side, align, distribute vertically. Once again, select, shape format, align, distribute vertically, and one final time, align, distribute vertically. Wonderful. Since we need to get two more, we can just copy this down. And we need to have one more rectangle here. So let's quickly do that. Make it a little larger. Shape format, shape fill, eyedropper, and select the same color. So you have got the idea. I'm not going to do this entire thing, but you get a sense of how quickly we can create, or rather recreate, a slide that Mackenzie has created. Let's also create this plus and equal to. Insert, shapes, create a circle. Let's create the circle like this. Remember, when you're creating a circle, you will have to press the shift key. If you keep the shift key pressed, then it will not become an oval, it will remain a circle. So this seems all right. Let's keep it in the center. Let's zoom in and make sure that it is looking okay. That seems all right. Let's go to shape fill and eyedropper. Use this orange color. I'll make a copy. We also want to create a text box, and in this text box I will write plus, change the font color to white, and then put this text box on top of my circle. Now we can increase the font size and make sure the text box comes exactly in the center like this. Copy the text box, and this can be changed to an equal to. And as you can see, everybody, we have managed to recreate what Mackenzie had done. And let me also remove the outline from every single object that we have. And I think this looks wonderful. Let's do one more example. I will create one more slide. Let me also save my presentation. All right. This is an EY report. So we have these grays and yellows that EY uses very often. And this is the concept of differential colors. You notice that they have used grays, but they have highlighted the maximum value with the yellow. The other thing you would notice is that there is no y-axis. The reason is because EY says that if you have already kept the percentages inside the column as a data label, then there is no point of creating a redundancy by creating the y-axis as well. So I'm going to open an Excel file since we will have to create the chart on Excel and see how we do this. Let us take this as a sample. All right. So we will see that probably permitted is 76%, permitted is 16%, probably prohibited is 4%, and finally explicitly prohibited is 3%. Let's select insert and select our column chart, the very first one. The first thing I want to do is to remove the grid lines. So just click on the grid line and press delete. We also want the data label. So on add chart element, select data labels and select outside end. If you click on the y-axis and press delete, then the y-axis gets deleted. I would always suggest never to use blacks. Always use dark grays, for example. The data labels should not be black, but change the font color to a dark gray. That will make it seem look much, much nicer. I can select all the columns and click once again to select only the first column. The first time I click, all the 4 columns are selected. But if you click once again, only the first column is selected. In format, shape fill, interestingly, you will notice that we do not have eyedropper. We only have eyedropper in PowerPoint. So unfortunately, if you need to get the same color, we will first have to go back to PowerPoint. I will just create a shape, use the eyedropper, and here we can see that this is 241, 211, 25. 241, 211, 25. Back on shape fill, go to more fill colors, go to custom, and then simply type here 241, 211, and 25. Yes, okay. Once again, the gray is 109, 110, 113. Come back, select shape fill, more fill colors, 109, 113. Let's just keep the same for simplicity, 109, 109, 109. And let's do it quickly 2 more times. Just select the same color, and on the final one, select the same color. We can also reduce the width. Now you would notice that the gap between these 2 columns is quite a lot, and I don't like that. Here you notice the gap is much lesser. How do you do that? Click on the column, right click, format data series, and reduce the gap width like this. This will make the bars, or rather the columns, much wider. For the title, we can simply write Exhibit 25, Regulation of Permanent Roaming Around the World. Let's align it to the left, reduce the font size, and also move it like this. And as you can see, we have managed to recreate the same slide that we had given, that was given to us originally. Now we had been given this slide and we have created it. Why did we not do this directly on PowerPoint? We could have by creating different shapes, but now because it is a Excel chart, when I copy this and I put it back on our PowerPoint as a chart, we can also link it. This means that in the future, if these numbers change, for example, this becomes 25, this becomes 14, this becomes 10, and this becomes 8, the same changes will reflect in the PowerPoint as well. Let me also show you one more example of how differential colors can be used. This is a management consulting firm called Oliver Wyman. It's not in the top three, but it's one of the largest top 20 management consulting firms in the world. They also are using the concept of a differential color here. Now remember, differential colors can also be used for tables. Here we have a KPMG report, and you can see that they have used a differential color to highlight one specific column. Differential colors are also very handy when you have many subheadings. Like here we have used different colors to identify the heading, the subheading, and the subheading. And these are the items. This again is a McKinsey report. Wonderful. So we have done a lot of examples. We will continue with our lecture. And in the next lecture, we will look at how we can work with gradients.